Are you thinking about moving to Central Alberta, but you're overwhelmed by all the choices, all the communities, you're not sure exactly which one to pick? Well, stay tuned. That's today's topic. And if this is your first time to our video, welcome. My name is Jason Walls, along with my wife Shelaine Walls and the rest of the Walls Real Estate Group. We get calls, texts, and emails every single day from people just like you wanting to know what we can do to help you make that move as seamless as possible. So please hit the like, subscribe button so you get notifications every time we publish a new video. And as we always say, we do the research so you don't have to. We're here to help with any insights and to help make the move as seamless as possible. We know that moving is stressful. We know that relocating is stressful. So whether you're moving from out of province or whether you're just moving from within one town to another or even within the city, Shelaine and I are here to help you make the transition and the move as hassle-free as possible. We always say we match hearts with homes and homes with hearts. Now let's get started. Where everybody always says, why Central Alberta? Well, there's so many reasons why Central Alberta is such an attractive place to so many people that are relocating. And trust me, we get a lot of people from out of province and we love it. We're always growing. It helps the economy. It gives so many people the opportunities to come from out of province and just realize all the things that Alberta has to offer. Whether it's the mountains, it's the lakes, it's the hiking trails, it's the small communities, it's the amazing facilities for sporting facilities, for kids, adults. There's just so many things that Central Alberta has to offer and at such affordable prices. You know, we look at the average house price in Central Alberta is right around the $400,000 and that's based in Red Deer. If you go to some of the smaller communities, you're around the $325,000 to $350,000. So you compare that to some of our friends that we know that deal with the Toronto market, average price right now, $1.1 million. Isn't that a crazy number to compare versus what we are at $4 to $4.25? So your dollar goes a lot farther in Central Alberta, and that's just one reason. Let's stay tuned and let's get looking at some of the new ones. So as you can see from all these pictures, Red Deer, Black Falls, Lacombe, Sylvan Lake, Innisfail, Olds, Stettler, Rocky Mountain House, these are all amazing communities and they all offer something a little bit unique compared to each other's. And so if you look at some of our other videos that we've had, that we published already, you'll see some of the highlights and we've targeted several of the towns and did videos on them individually. So please take some time and go back and take a look at some of those. They're all listed on our YouTube channel. So as I mentioned, Central Alberta offers unbeatable value. You know, between the $350 and the $400 average price for a home, that's detached. That's not a duplex, that's not a townhouse. Now, some of the townhouses and duplexes cost that because they're either in certain communities or they're luxury or they're executive, but that is detached homes. And so if you're looking to move out of either Calgary, Edmonton, or some of the other bigger communities, these are some of the reasons why people come. Not only that, rush hour, commuting time. You know, it's not uncommon for people in the larger communities to commute for an hour each way every single day. In Red Deer, you might be looking at 15 minutes, maybe 20 on a busy day. In some of the smaller towns, it's maybe 5, 10, 15 minutes. So you really got to take a look at the lifestyle that you're going to have if you come to Central Alberta versus in some of the other ones. Now, granted, there's pros and cons. We don't have, you know, all the amenities that maybe Calgary, Edmonton do as far as nightlife, facilities, that kind of stuff. But we have so much to offer, and people that come here, there's very seldom do you ever hear people complain about things that they're missing. And if they are missing some of those things, Calgary's an hour and a half south, Edmonton's an hour and a half north. So you really don't have very far to go to get back if you want to see some of those things. So I just want to go through some of the secrets that we think is really important when you're trying to decide where it is that you're going to go and where you want to move. So we'll just highlight some of the things. So the first one I wanted to highlight is just your must-haves. So when Shelaine and I sit down or we talk over the phone, the first few questions we always ask is, what is it exactly you're looking for? What do you want? What is the must-haves? So, you know, that goes from house type to bedrooms to bathrooms, community, commute, location to what some of the things you're looking for. If you want to live out by a lake, or you want to live out west where you're close to the Crown Land and the mountains and that kind of stuff. We want to make sure we're asking you all the questions. What schools? What type of schools? What age are your children? All those things are really important to know when we start to do the search as to where you want to be once we find you that next dream home. So as you can see by this graph, on the 5-year average prices for Red Deer, the market has really increased, not at the same extent that you maybe would see in some of the bigger centers, such as especially Toronto and BC. We start to see a lot of pricing differences in Alberta as well. Right now, the average sale price in Calgary is over $700,000, and in Edmonton, it's over $550,000. So you can tell that the comparison, the average price between that and Red Deer is quite a bit different. And certainly that price is different between Calgary and Edmonton and some of the smaller communities. So it's really a lot more affordable to live in Central Alberta versus it is in some of the larger communities. The prices have been increasing every year, so it's still a really smart investment. And I did a video as well on investors. And if you're looking for a good return on investment and you're looking for more investments, then Central Alberta is really attractive market as well. People buy suited homes, they buy duplexes or fourplexes, and they can make a lot more return on their investment than they will those other places. So that's also something to consider when thinking about moving to Central Alberta. Another thing we always stress is the importance of the pre-approval process. So we always tell clients to go out and get pre-approved before we start looking at homes. And a good analogy we use is you can't go and buy a car without knowing how much you can afford. And everybody has an idea of what they think they can get approved for, but the approval process is really a detailed process to make sure that you can afford the property you're buying and that you have enough down payment and that your monthly expenses won't exceed the debt ratio that we're allowed. And I have a lot of quality mortgage brokers that we can put you in touch with if you don't have your own. And it really is just a really important first step before the home buying process starts. We're happy to set you up on a search and things like that so we can get an idea of what homes are available in the price range that you're hoping for. But the pre-approval process, especially in today's market where it's a seller's market, the demand is up here and the supply is here. And it's starting to get a little bit better, but right now inventory is still quite low. So every time there's a new property comes on the market, there's a lot of buyers that are taking a look and there's a lot of showings typically in the first few days. And when we do get into that, we quite often see multiple offers now, which is not uncommon for a lot of areas, but we're starting to see more of them than we have in the past. And so when we do get into multiple offer situation, it's really important to have the experience of people like Shelaine and I that have been involved in them. We can never promise we'll get you that deal, but we'll always put our best foot forward to try and get that for you. And so it's really important to have their offer as clean as possible. And so if we're allowed to put in a letter of pre-approval with our offer, that really makes our offer stand out above and beyond some of the others. And so that's just some little things that Shelaine and I have learned and we try to do. And so it's really important before we get started is to get that pre-approval. Another thing with the mortgages that have come out just recently is there's a new program that you can, if you're a first-time buyer or you're buying a new construction, you can qualify for up to a 30-year amortization versus a 25-year amortization. So what that does is it just makes your monthly payments a little bit lower because you're stretching it out that 5 extra years. So again, something to talk to our mortgage lenders about that can explain that better. But it does make the interest payments over the 30 years quite a bit higher than 25. But if it helps you get into that first-time buyer earlier, we are going to see as the spring market comes and the rates hopefully continue to reduce, we're going to see the prices increase. So a lot of times people say, well, when is the right time to buy? Well, Shelaine and I always say the right time to buy is when it's right for you. But what we can say is as rates continue to drop and demand continues to be strong and supply continues to be low, prices will increase. And so if you wait till you save up a little bit more so you maybe don't have to do a CMHC insured mortgage instead of a regular mortgage, but then the price is that much higher and so you're maybe no farther ahead. So we can discuss all those things with you, but there's just some other factors that you have to take into account. So we can explain the good and the bad of waiting and hoping for the prices to come down, or if they're going to continue to climb like we have seen in the last couple of years. So everybody asks us timing. When is the right time to sell? When is the right time to buy? Shelaine and I always say the timing is whenever it works best for you. We see typically more and more listings come in the springtime, but we always see more and more demand in the spring. So the winter time is always a great time as well. There's still going to be new listings come on. It's still going to be a great time to move. So as the rates continue to hopefully drop, we're going to see prices probably increase. And as I mentioned with the amortization, then we have to make sure that the timing is right. There is no perfect time, but there is no bad time either. Next thing we always want to discuss with buyers is new homes versus old existing. Not old, it can be a year old, but it's still used. So there's so many pros to buying new. There's so many pros to buying existing. So it's whatever your family's needs are. If you want something bright and shiny and smells nice and new, then let's do the new construction. We deal with a lot of builders. We're happy to deal with builders. The timeline sometimes can be longer. There's not as many spec homes built by builders as there used to be. So if you're looking for a new build, sometimes we can find one that's already started, or there's still some that are completed and looking for their new owners. But lots of times there's the 6 to 8 to 12 month waiting period from the time you commit to the home to the time you move in. So if you're looking for a shorter timeline, then sometimes going the existing inventory is the way to go. And there are a lot of homes, if you still like the newer styles, that we can find you that aren't very old, but are already in established neighborhoods. When you hire a local expert, such as Shelaine and I, we'd love to be your realtors of choice. Make sure you interview and make sure you're getting your needs met. So Shelaine and I have lots of testimonials. We'd love for you to check out our Google reviews and our website, just to read some of the reviews that we've had. We've been in the business for almost 30 years combined between the two of us, so we really do know the markets really well. But it is important to make sure that you've got qualified realtors that are working for you, doing the very best. We've got sometimes some listings that we know of that aren't even listed yet. We've got some sellers that are just waiting maybe till they find something that they can buy, or they're maybe waiting till the spring market or the summer market or the fall market. So a lot of times we have properties that aren't necessarily listed, but we've been talking to sellers that are thinking of it, that if we think that house is going to be a perfect match for you, we can take a look at it. We can talk to the seller and say, hey, we have a buyer that's coming along that might be perfect. Can we maybe take a look at it? So it's not just when you're looking on MLS or realtor.ca. When you're talking with us, we will try and do the very best to find you properties. And because right now inventory is really at an all-time low, it's really important to have that ability and those things to reach back on and try and find. And then of course, as I mentioned with multiple offers, negotiation is really key. It's one thing to find the home that you want to purchase. It's another thing right now to be able to get it. There's so much competition. It is really part of the negotiation process that you want somebody that has been in the market, they understand the offers, they understand what helps you stand apart from the other people, because you want your offer to shine. You want the sellers to say, hey, this is a great offer. I feel confident that it'll go through and that everything will be fine. And so that's when it's really important to have us in your back pocket and working for you. So today's video, I really hope you found some value in it. We really do want some interaction as well with you guys back. Please put in your comments if we found this video of any use. If there's other topics that you would like covered and you're looking at moving to Central Alberta but you have questions, please reach out to Shelaine and I anytime with messaging, emails, or even just give us a good old-fashioned phone call. We'd be happy to answer all of your questions. So if you're looking to make your move to Central Alberta, whether it's in 9 days, 90 days, or a year from now, Shelaine and I are here. We'll be here to help make your move to Central Alberta as seamless as possible. So have a great day, and we'll catch you on the next one.